I'll just go watch as Catwoman. I'd much prefer to hear that. And by the way, Eartha, wonderful job at the White House. That I truly mean that. That was some kick-ass stuff that you spoke power to truth there, or truth to power, as the actual saying goes, except in my little dyslexic mind. But yeah, all I'm here to point out is that the entire reason we are here is because a bunch of pagans wanted to get drunk, wanted to screw. It continued into the modern ages, even into England in the 1800s, and you can hear it in their Christmas carols about demanding their wassail and demanding to bring out figgy pudding. People used to go out in gangs and get as drunk as humanly possible and start fights. Talk about the Christmas spirit. I haven't even touched on Krampus and all the horror and the telling of ghost stories that obviously go with it. Didn't even have the time to dig in this time around to Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, which is a great story, and Scrooge and all the other wonderful bits of pop culture. But I just think it's finally time for us, who are the custodians and the record keepers of our pop culture traditions, to realize that in fact our religious holidays came from one thing, transferred along to another, and are now just as much a part of our pop culture as anything else. Right? Just as much as waiting for a movie to come out, or that time when we sit around waiting for How the Grinch Stole Christmas to come on TV, or Charlie Brown. Yeah, if you're more of a Charlie Brown or Grinch person, I don't know. It's all good.
Well, there's new Trolls one out.
I'm sorry?
There's a new Trolls Christmas special coming out to add to the lexicon of holiday spirit and waited upon treasured viewing.
I absolutely love. Hey, my kids like the Trolls movie. We've got the Trolls holiday movie going on downstairs, which, by the way, to me, just as much a religious observance as anything else. That's truly how I feel about it. So now that I've ruined Christmas for everybody, I want to let my man Greg come in here and try and maybe save my ass and save the show here for a few minutes.
Well, I don't know. Okay, I was gonna just a quick rebuttal to what you were saying. I think I've always said for the longest time the real problem with atheism is they don't have songs, and that is the problem. Like they really did brilliantly market Christmas as just this kind of all-encompassing holiday. Like it's got its own songs, it's got its own food, you spend ridiculous amounts of money, you get hammered if you like, you get laid if you like. It honestly is the alpha holiday. Like it's not just one night like most people, if we're going to pursue the arrogant and romantic practice of making a day more special than another day. Nothing gets better than Christmas. And then you get free shit. You got to spend money too, but you also get free shit. You can wear costumes if you like. You can go to parades if you like. It's amazing. It is honestly an amazing holiday. You can't get any better. Atheists don't have holidays. They don't have songs. You can buy each other stuff, but then they're like, oh, it's your birthday. I'm like, fuck you. And then you just ruin the entire, right? And then you ruin the entire thing entirely, because then, the kids want to get involved. There's no games, what I mean? There's no atheist outdoor decorations, atheist lights. Like there's no shit like that, like that's why, that reason alone. And trust me, speaking as a Catholic who literally was not allowed to sing Frosty the Snowman or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in Catholic school, trust me when I tell you that people are only Christian for Christmas. That's it. Most people, it's the only time you even consider the church. Most people, it's the only time you kind of pretend to be knowledgeable about the life of Jesus Christ. And for them to know that if you really want to convert these people, we are going to take this holiday where you get trashed out of your mind, and that is going to be the one that hits. As a Jew, I got to be honest, but Hanukkah, Yeah, some people might get down with it, like ain't nothing wrong with it. But Christmas, shit, it doesn't ever have to stop. It doesn't have to
Personally,
stop. Now it's in October.
it just keeps
it just
rolling,
it just keeps
going.
growing and growing out of control. So yes, Chris.
I'll be the first to admit, Hanukkah. I mean, here's all you have to know about Hanukkah. It's a Jewish holiday where you're allowed to work. That's all you need to know about it, even where it sits in its ranking of importance. Like that's all there is to it. And I don't argue with the thing you just said about Christmas, right? It's like absolutely the alpha of all. Like, let's just do this. Let's do it all.
And to have the foresight to be like, yeah, this is the one that's going to catch. Trust me. This is the one that is going to be an absolute hit. We're going to convert the world more basically based on this one holiday.
This is not going to be a fire festival of holidays. Right? Shit is going to be lit.
It's everything. It's a little bit of Burning Man. It's a little bit of Woodstock. Like it's the best shit ever. All right, but what I was going to touch on for mine was growing, like I said, grew up Catholic, grew up in a very religious Caribbean family. It's like sometimes you always have like those people, or either people at school or people in your family who wanted to do the simple Christmas. You know what I mean? Like Jesus Christ and the cold, on the mule with Mary and Joseph, and the inn, and the manger, and in just complete abject poverty, like just total poverty. And then the three wise men, sure, that can happen. And they bring you these simple gifts, and it's just a simple celebration of song and thinking about the miracles of Jesus Christ, and what it is that God has planned for the human race. And it's always an interesting concept, because fuck, that sounds so much easier, right? Like you do not have to wait in line for a damn thing. Nope. For anything I just said. No,
nobody's dying. Nobody is dying for your Xbox that year, right?
Exactly.
That is not a holiday that people die as they go out to the Best Buy. But
exactly. Now, it doesn't also invite a great deal of overeating and over drinking, but you know what? There's tomorrow. All right. Like you can say that we can at least put that off, and we are just going to pray and reflect and be together and thank God and Christ Jesus for everything that they've given us. And it would be honestly a beautiful and so much easier thing. It's like that option always comes up every year somewhere, like someone is going to spend the entire day helping the homeless, or someone's going to spend the entire day just bringing family together as much as possible. And, we shoot that shit right the fuck down. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. We are simply not doing it. Like when we think about the origin story of everyone's, favorite person from the Bible, it sounds absolutely fantastic. It sounds like a miraculous story that should be told over and over again. Are you done telling the story? Good. Beer. It goes immediately from the manger to alcohol in like 0.6 seconds. So that's why I say we should shift over to Krampusnacht.
I'm liking it.
Let's just switch it over to Krampusnacht, because whereas everything that Josh just said about Saturnalia is absolutely true, and Saturnalia was also kind of a topsy-turvy day. The poor would be treated like the rich would be treated like the poor. It was an interesting time, and it made a lot of sense. I don't know if vomitoriums are real, but supposedly the vomitoriums would be overflowing. I don't know if that's what the vomitoriums were for. I think we'd have to look it up. But
My understanding was that was a thing because the idea of overindulgence was very much there in many Roman holidays. So.
Vomitoriums have more to do with understanding of extinguishing your 4 liquids on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. So.
I mean, so if, for anyone that does not know, Krampus, the idea was that if you were good, Santa came to your home. And if you were bad, Krampus came to your home. And if Krampus came to your home, he would snatch you up, throw you in a sack, and eat your stomach. That was the idea. He would take a child. They did not fuck around with trying to keep their kids good back then. Good, good. I mean, yeah, I got turned into, I don't know, a piece of coal, but nah, dude, no, we're not doing that in the Middle Ages. Like, no, you would get kidnapped by Krampus and he would take you away from your family and you would be eaten. Your stomach would be eaten out by this massive demon. And it basically looked like, he kind of took on the look of a Baphomet. Like other people, he looks like a crazy old man with horns, but the goat features started coming in, and there's a long history behind those features as well, and features of the devil. So think of it in that sense, like of the devil. But the idea is that kind of wild revelry, that wild revelry. And that turned into a festival in many parts of Europe. And I think it should be adopted here in the United States. Yes, it's a pagan holiday. You're right. But so are most of our holidays, as Josh just pointed out, and there's absolutely no reason we can't make this a thing either. There's actually a parade for Krampus. So parades done. Yeah. You're encouraged to wear costumes and behave and misbehave the same way Krampus would, winning, just more winning. And and again, you have as far as you want to go with decoration. It would be kind of Halloween-ish, but let's be honest, Halloween's the other really great holiday. Yeah, right? You dress up in costumes, you have festivals, you have parades, you have Halloween parties, you give out candy. Kids love it. Kids are adorable. It would basically be Halloween 2.
Dun, 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 dun.
Isn't there a Jewish holiday that is either on the same line or in some cases treated as more important than Hanukkah, that is basically the Jewish Halloween?
Well, that's Purim, and I would agree with you. It probably has. I mentioned.
Yeah,
you're allowed to work on. You're allowed to work on Hanukkah. I believe you're allowed to work on Purim. I know it's sad that I don't even know, but it's more significant, and that it is in fact, yeah. There's dressing up in costumes and all of that, and it's a true Jewish style. It was about surviving a massacre, but in this case, we headed off the potential massacre before it happened, so we didn't all get killed. So that's why actually it's one of my favorite holidays. It's like, yay, we didn't all get killed by the king we were living underneath. Fantastic. And he realized he was married to a Jewish woman and didn't kill her. Also, like, just wonderful one, and they all lived happily ever after.
Winning
without a doubt.
So yeah, like, let's just I would love to be able to just switch it over to Krampus not to keep.
Oh, that was close.
We don't want to keep having Kristallnacht. Krampus knocked.
I almost made up.
Depends on what kind of weekend you want.
I guess so. Although that was getting up there closer to a very terrible text I sent to both of you that I'm never living down for the rest of my life. So
was it about food, Josh? Was it about food?
It was about food, as a matter of fact.
Was it about leafy green?
About leafy green, as a matter of fact. One that it's like, oh shit. I just picture, still to this day, I'm picturing the two of you coming to my gravestone and just carving that one out. So, for the rest of eternity.
We'll help for the next life. Love
exactly. And nothing but love. I know that. Well, You know, I think you make a great point about celebrating the Krampus without a doubt, and the flip side, the underbelly